from MakingItInTheMountains.com, and thank you so much for joining us today. I'm away on a girls' blogging trip with some of my favorite blogging friends from Western Canada, and we've been having so many awesome conversations together that I thought it would be really fun, we thought it would be really fun, to do a collaboration of questions and ideas and coffee chats about balancing work life and home life and work from home, decor styles and how we found them, and how we make money blogging. So we thought it would be really fun to put together some videos for you guys. So we're going to each share a video and link it up in a playlist below so you can check them all out. So I'm here with Lindy from Love Create Celebrate, and Colleen from Lemon Thistle, and Christina from The DIY Mommy. And today we're going to be talking about something that has come up a lot for me lately, being authentic online. So I feel like it's a really difficult balance to find. So let's dig in. So I thought we should start maybe with what authenticity means to you guys. Authenticity in the online world?
Yeah. I think it's, for me, it's about integrity. Like, does my online persona look similar to my real life persona? Which is, definitely a whole discussion. Yeah, it's integrity to me, authenticity, and just being, not changing who I am or who my family is, like doing a whole 180 for the internet.
Yeah, so you're not one person in your real life and another person, Martha Stewart, or somebody in your blog life,
That's
right?
what it is to me.
Yeah, having your own sort of personality, your own character that shows through your blog or your online world.
Honesty, I think a lot of honesty when it comes to, hey, this didn't work out.
Right.
And showing, bits of real life is a great way to do that, but I think honesty is also not opening up and spilling your guts.
Yeah, so how do you guys try to be authentic in your online presence then? Like, how do you share who you really are to the whole world?
I think it's hard because there's this sort of perception that our online worlds have to be pretty and perfect and put together, and that's obviously we're all moms. That's not our reality. So it's hard to find how to be authentic and how to show your true self and your true day-to-day life.
I think for me, like, I try to, I love beautiful photos, and that's just something I love, and that's something I've always loved to work on. So creating a beautiful photo is authentic to me because that's something that I love to do. But also I like to try to, for example, on Instagram, I'll have the beautiful photo, but in my captions I want to maybe tell a story about how this photo came to be, or maybe something that happened in my day that would hopefully other moms could relate to, just to kind of add that authenticity. This isn't a beautiful photo because my life is always beautiful like this, right? But here's some real things that happened in my day today.
Absolutely. I think Instagram stories has been a huge thing for me too. Instagram is all about making everything perfect and showing that little perfect square of your life. And I feel like stories has been the way that I've broken into, here's my child ripping apart my house, or here's the cereal we're having for dinner, or whatever imperfect things are happening too, right? Like, this is real life.
That's why I always say my Instagram fans know me better than any of the other fans, because they see that real life more than the other people.
I know. I always try to, as much as we have the beautiful pictures, whether it be on Instagram or in my blog post, I'll include the text is relatable. It's like me telling you about it, right? If you come over to my house after I've cleaned it for company, and you're like, oh, and I point something out, I'd tell you a story about it. That's just what we do with our friends, and so I try to do that as well online. And Instagram stories is huge. It's like the things that we used to post on Instagram before. It's like, well, nobody wants to see your mess. Post these beautiful pictures, and the Instagram stories is like, hey guys, look at what's behind this.
But do you think it's important to, there's this whole comparison trap out there where you see these beautiful, perfect photos, and I feel like I consciously have to remind myself that this is one small part of somebody's life, and we have no idea what's going on behind these photos. But do you think that's something that you're conscious of when you share a pretty picture and you say you add in some authenticity? Like, is that something we should be thinking about and working towards and putting out there? Is it our responsibility to take them on and make sure that other people know that this is not
I think it kind of is, yeah. I think there has been more awareness recently in the whole online world, reminding people that these are snippets, especially with Instagram and just
Pinterest.
These are by the way, these are highlight reels. These are not, you know, we're not showing every single thing that happens behind the scenes here. And I think there's been a lot of people pointing that out and more awareness of that.
Yeah.
I have an easier time with home and things like that. I know a lot of people will maybe feel like that's where the challenge is. For me, when I see people posting all these fun things that they're doing with their kids, I'm like, oh man, I'm so busy. Like, we don't make time for these amazing adventures every day. But I'm like, how do people make time for those amazing adventures every day?
Probably don't.
I don't know. Yeah, so I think I maybe have to remind myself more about it in that sense. But when I see somebody's beautiful home, I find it inspiring. I don't get down.
Yeah.
But
I'm sorry.
I could see both sides.
Yeah. I was just going to say, I also think, like, we're talking about authenticity on like Instagram and social media, but I think in my blog posts too, I realized I did a post where I wrote out an argument I had with my husband, and it was like not a mean argument, but it was about paint and what we were doing, and I had so many people either message me or tell me in real life. I loved reading that. That was so funny. I loved reading that argument, and that to me was a bit more authentic. And I thought I need to do that more often, and really put the discussions that we're having and the things. I think that all plays in together, right?
On your blog too.
On your blog too, like being authentic about how these decisions come about, or how you have to adjust things for your kids or your family.
Yeah.
Good
And I do that a lot on my blog, and that's part of what I've always wanted to do is like DIY, but for real people. And I'm going to tell you the things that I did this wrong. Oh, and I burnt myself a lot of times. And I hope that comes across. And that's hard with something like social media where people scroll and they see the beautiful pictures. But if you take the time to read it, I think that you'll find all of us are pretty authentic in the way that we speak. I mean, meeting you wasn't a surprise to me when I started talking to you. I'm like, this is what I expected. Because of who you are online, it's authentic to who you are in person.
Yeah, we pointed out that everybody's authentic post on Instagram is here's my mess, right? And that is not my authentic. Like, there is no mess in my house.
She's actually clean.
I'm renovating my house, and I'm vacuuming my plywood floors, and like our contractors talk about how this is the neatest, cleanest renovation they've ever seen, right? Like, that is my authentic though, and I don't want to be shamed for being that person. But I agree, I see these pictures of people doing things and feeling more free, and that's what I'm jealous of, right? So, so do you guys feel like then your blog and your online presence affects your real life?
Yeah, I think perceptions are a tricky thing to manage, not just perceptions of my house, but perceptions of what I'm doing with my time. I know we have to schedule things, and we understand that as bloggers, that you schedule things because you can't always be on your computer, nor do you want to be. But I have people say, I know you're really busy, but if you have time for me, maybe we can go for coffee. And I'm like, I still want to have friends. I still have free time. Just because I work really hard and I get things ready and I schedule it out doesn't mean that I have to be on my computer every day of the week. So I think that's been a challenge for me, is that people, or if I invite people over for a party, I love to host parties. I always have before I started blogging. And some of my most popular things were things that I'd shared, that I'd taken pictures of before I even thought of starting a blog. That's just who I am and what I love to do. People will be like, oh, is this a blog post? I'm like, it could be, I don't know. I just want to have you over, or I want to have my kid a birthday party that has a theme, and I like that. I want to do that.
Yeah. Lindy and I were talking about how our kids now will ask to do things. Like I feel like he will set something up and he will want us to share it with everybody, right?
Like every time we're doing an Instagram story, then she pops up, oh, is it my turn for a video?
Or Brady will do something, and some sort of project that I hadn't even thought to put on the blog, and he'll say something about, I took some pictures in case you want to put this on the blog, or so I feel like the blog pours into everybody's life in my family, right? Like, they're all bloggers now.
Yeah, I don't think there's any way to avoid that. I mean, because especially when you're blogging about home, like it's a very personal thing, your house, right? It affects, and I think like I probably do way more projects and like room redecorations because of the blog, like because I'm working with sponsors that have certain deadlines and certain things they want to do. So that does affect our family life. Like we're probably changing up our decor and renovating more than I would if I didn't have a blog.
Oh, absolutely.
And, yeah, and that does affect my family. It's usually okay, but sometimes you know, there's been negative repercussions, like just the unrest of constantly, you know, doing stuff in the home. Yeah, so I find that a little bit difficult to manage sometimes.
Yeah.
And I do find the deadlines of working with a sponsor or something like that on a room is a great thing. It motivates me to get it done, and I actually get it done.
That's true.
You're not living in it for longer, but at the same time, that can provide stress.
That's right.
It's like, I know that you want to do this, I'm sorry, but this weekend, we're working on this.
Yeah, it's nice to have that objective person telling you that there's a deadline. So, and actually, I think it prevents fights with me and my husband a lot, because I'm like, well, so-and-so sponsor said to get this done.
And it is a benefit to my family. Like, I try to be really careful to only do things that are actually going to help us move forward, as much as it's like, oh, hey, there's this opportunity with this thing. Well, we don't need that thing. We wouldn't have bought that thing anyways. It wouldn't be authentic. Then I'm probably not going to do it. Whereas if it's something we really want to, like for us in the fall, it's like, okay, our bedroom, we have the same mattress, like it was a hand-me-down mattress, like we need a new mattress, oh my goodness. So we're gonna do our bedroom anyways. So then if I can work my blog into that, it's like, great, my work is really helping to benefit our family.
Okay, so we talked about how our families play into blogging, but how do you then balance the authenticity of real life with respecting the privacy of your family? Or of yourselves, for that matter, right?
It is tricky.
Like, I take pictures of my bedroom. I don't know any friends that I feel comfortable inviting up to my bedroom. Like, there's things that I share on my blog that I wouldn't necessarily do in real life, or vice versa. And I'm really conscious of what I share of my son. You want to be authentic with everybody. I have bad days. Carson has bad days. Brady has bad days. But I want to be authentic with everybody, but I also want to respect our privacy, to have those bad days and not have it be for the world to see.
I think that's such a personal decision where that line is between sharing, being authentic and oversharing, or crossing the line into being disrespectful. I think it's a personal decision that everybody has to make themselves. I don't think, and I think you kind of have to match it with your own actual personality. Like in real life, I'm a pretty private person and I'm pretty quiet. So online, I'm not going to be sharing like my deepest thoughts and everything for all to see, because that's not who I am in real life. Like I like one or two really close friends that I'll cry with and share with, but so that's just me. And then I think with my family, how I measure it is, for my kids anyhow, is I think when my kids are adults and they look back on these YouTube videos, and they look back on these blog posts, are they going to be excited and proud of what I've shown, or are they going to be embarrassed? Are they going to be ashamed? I think that's my measuring stick for my kids.
I still struggle with that, because I don't want to seem inauthentic in my online world. But I don't want to share those things at the same time, right? So it's like how you balance
it's tough.
Sharing what, appropriate for your family and for your kids without looking like, because I've had friends say, oh, super mom or whatever, because I don't show those tantrums and the messes.
And I do respect the moms that are authentic and come on, and I relate to them so much of, this is my day, and I'm so tired, and this and this and this, and I so respect that. Or the people that have trouble conceiving, or like these really big difficulties in their lives that they share to help other people. It's just not my real life personality to share those things,
I think a few things. I think first of all, we are DIY and decor bloggers. That's what we do. We're not lifestyle and parenting bloggers. And so while we do want to be relatable, we choose to do this kind of blogging, not this kind of blogging. And that's true. If I run into an acquaintance on the street, I may invite them in for company, but I'm going to clean my house before I invite them in for company. And I'm also not going to tell them about this awful fight I just had with my daughter.
That's true.
And I'm not going to, let them in on those inner things, because number one, I don't want to embarrass. I really want to respect my family and I don't want people to know things about them that they don't want known. Do you know what I mean? Like, oh, you cried about what? Oh, that's so funny. Like, I don't think that's something that I would tell even like their teacher at school. Do you know what I mean? So for me, if I'm not going to say it to a casual acquaintance, I'm probably not going to say it to Instagram or to YouTube. Yeah, and that's authentic to me.
Yeah.
I feel like it's really difficult because we invite people into our homes on a regular basis, but we are very selective in maintaining some privacy there too, right? Like,
I do think that we can allude to it though. So what I'll do is, I mean, if I'm having a really bad day, maybe it's an Instagram on my coffee cup, like, I really need this third cup today because kids, right? And I think that people can relate to that, and they can be like I'll get messages like, we all have those days. Oh man, yesterday was one of those days for me. But I'm not showing a picture of my 2-year-old like sobbing on the floor because he didn't get the right cereal.
And sometimes it's okay to share the meltdown.
I know. I just like, I don't want somebody that, I don't know. I don't want them to be embarrassed when they look
it's
back
his
at what I
private
shared.
meltdown, and if I was having a meltdown over something, I wouldn't want that shared on the internet.
I don't want them to feel like I'm making fun of them.
Yeah.
I always want them to feel like I'm lifting them up, and that's who I am as a parent figure to them. Not like, we all have those uncles or those kind of family members that will maybe like make fun of you, and it's in good fun, but you feel like you're being put down as a kid, because as kids you're sensitive, right? And I don't want my kids to have that, like, oh, like, here she is poking fun at me again. As they grow up and they see these things that I've posted about them.
That's so true.
All right, so last thing we wanted to talk about, what's the one thing you want people to know about what they see online? It's okay, I can edit out the
We don't share the things that we don't do, right? So as much as I'll share this birthday party because I do love birthday parties, I don't share my cleaning routines because I don't do that, right? And I think you look at the things that people are really good at and you think that somebody's really good at all those things, but they're sharing the things that they're really good at because that's what they're passionate about, that's what they love. I'm also not going to share like, oh, check out my outfit and check out these things that I like, my makeup tutorials, because I'm not passionate about that. I don't put the time into that. And if you do, there's nothing wrong with that. And maybe you don't care about home decor or DIY or building your own bench instead of just buying a bench. I think you don't see the things that we don't do because we don't talk about it, and to remember that there's things that we're letting go of or we don't choose to put our time into.
I think this is a little bit of a different like way to look at it, but I think one thing that I would want people to know, which kind of ties into authenticity, is that we are real people. We're not just like, you know, some corporate figure putting out these blog posts. We're real people with real feelings. And when you comment on a YouTube video, on a blog post, and a Facebook post, try to remember that we're real people just like you, that do like appreciate respectful comments and uplifting comments and kind, constructive criticisms, right? I think that's something that I really want people to know, is that even though we're online and we're behind our keyboards, we're real people conversing, and I think we all need to remember that, bloggers and people that are watching and reading and everything.
And by posting, we're really opening ourselves up and being vulnerable in a way. And we have to have tough skin. We know we're putting it out there, but at the same time, I mean, if you wouldn't say it to somebody that you've met, why would you say it to somebody?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely.
I agree.
How about you, Lindsay?
I don't know, I was sort of like just thinking along the same things as Christina said, that we just are real people. And I think I tend to show, like in my home, I show the finished rooms and I show the finished DIYs. But I have a lot of DIYs that I've tried and failed, like bad fails. And I haven't shown those, but there is a side of that to all of our lives where we're just showing the part that we want to get out there and have the world see. So just remembering that kind of thing.
Do you really want to read our tutorial about how to fail at something? Because
several.
I think for me it's about the juggling of the balls and how many I am dropping behind the scenes. You know, like I am constantly, I might feel like I'm rocking this one thing, but I am at the very same time feeling like I am failing miserably at this other thing right now. And it changes day to day or week to week, but I never ever seem to feel like I have it all together, you know?
It's a trade-off.
All right, so I guess, like this was a really important discussion to have. I think it's hit really close to home for me. So I'd love to hear how much authenticity you guys like to see from us, you guys like to see in the online world. I think that's a really interesting discussion to open up. So thanks so much for joining us today. Of course, we'd all love it if you could hop around the playlist and check out everybody's videos, and of course subscribe to their channels. Thank you so much.